RBB Morning Show, the coach, mentor, marketing, and social media strategist you need each and every morning. RBB, a live morning talk show that gives you the ability to get the coach you need, strategist you wish you could afford, social media manager and strategist, marketing strategist, project manager, certified OBM, VA, business startup strategist, profit strategist, web strategist, email funnel strategist, sales page strategist, PR strategist, time management, mindset, and overall business development strategist. We answer it all. With over 25 years of business experience, both in corporate and small business worlds, we really can answer it all.
Happy Friday, everybody. I hope everybody's having a great day, and I hope this is working. This is our second attempt this morning. We thought we were live and then realized we weren't. So I am checking to see if we are live right now. See if we are. There we are.
Are we where we're supposed to be?
I don't know where the other one went. It just seems to have disappeared into the ether. So happy Friday. I'm very happy that we are able to join you today. And we babbled a bit about stuff already. I'm not going over it again because I don't want to hear it. So
yeah, I don't want to go.
So we're having an awesome day. It's very hot here already today. We have a high heat index here in our area of Western New York, which is not a normal thing. So I'm hiding in the air conditioning as much as I possibly can. If you are here, make sure you say hi in the comments. You may have to approve being able to say hi in the comments as well. There's a little bit of an issue with Be Live with that. Sometimes you got to approve it in order for people to be able to do that. So today we are talking about managing client expectations and some basic project management skills, which are super necessary for everybody. Good morning, Sandra. That runs a business to have managing your client expectations and have some basic project management skills, not task management skills, project management skills. So this is Gina's world. So it's Gina's world because I hate doing it. So I'm going to let Gina talk to y'all about it.
Okay. First, I guess I should start with what the difference, once again, is between task and project management. Tasks are your to-do list. Sometimes they are tasks that have bled from your project, but project management is a very specific thing that has a beginning and an end date. So that is a project. And then everything that falls within that are all of the things that you need to do between now and the end date to make sure that it ends on time. So one of the most important things that you should do is actually map out your project based on the things that need to get done and the date that they need to get done by to ensure that this thing is done on time. That is project management in its most basic form. Hey, Desiree, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Good morning, Desiree.
I love her. She's funny. You would love her too. And that's project management, basically. And that's project management in its most basic form. So I'm going to repeat myself. All of the things that you need to do for this particular project need to be laid out with dates to ensure that it is done on time.
So I'm going to tell you something. I always, even in my project management and when I'm writing everything down, I give myself extra time to do them. So I always pad things by a minimum of 10%.
Yes, that is called risk mitigation. That is the official term for that in project management world is risk mitigation, because you are looking at this entire project and all the things you have to do, and then you're looking at this list and you go, man, I wonder what could go wrong. And then you plan for that so that we can communicate with our clients and we can make sure that our clients know where we are at all times. We know where we are at all times, and everybody is on the same page, because one of the most important things that you can do with a client is communicate. I would recommend over communicating. The more that you can communicate with the client and the less the client has to come to you and ask you, where's this, where's that? You said it would be this by this time. You said blah, blah, blah. The less that they have to do that, the more that they trust you, and the more, and this is the fun one, the more they leave you alone and you can get your work done. So that is project management in its basic form. Everybody should have those skills. Everybody should be doing that, whether you're a VA, a social media person, a web designer, a graphic designer, a podcast person. Like, it does not matter. Like, that set of skill right there is the most important thing, because even if you're just a general administrative VA, you're going to have projects. They're going to be small, but they're still going to be projects. And they're going to have due dates, and your client's going to expect them done at a certain time. All of those things. So that in its most basic form is a project management skill. That does not make you a project manager. So I want to make that quite clear. Just like that is a very basic project management skill, and everybody should have it, but it does not make you a project manager. I really want to drive that home, because I see a lot of VAs out there putting project management and project manager on their resumes, and that you're setting yourself up for failure, because there's a lot more that goes into it. Like, a lot more that goes into it. So that is that portion. Very quick, dirty, very easy. I know I'm saying it with some sass in my voice, but you guys have to understand, I haven't slept in almost 3 days. Over issues we've been having. I'm out of patience. So now
we have no patience.
Now, thing number 2, managing client expectations. This one is huge, and this one is actually something that I really drive home with people. So this is something that I touched on yesterday, but I want to touch on it again. You need to take your job very, very seriously, because everybody is important and everybody is needed to make businesses move forward. And when somebody is bringing work to you and they're outsourcing their work to you and they are contracting you and paying you for a job, they are trusting you, and their business is now on the line. And it's your and you need to take that seriously. And I see way too many people thinking this is a game. They're just playing. They're just out to get a check. Whatever it is, they don't care. They got paid so they could give to. I need to. Is there a way to have a horn beep or something so that I can censor myself?
No. I was just thinking I need a button.
I need a beep, 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 beep is what I need. But anyway, they don't give two diddlies about you or your company or your project because they've been paid. And I see way too much of that. That is not cool, and that is not okay. Because you should take this seriously. This is very serious. This is other people's livelihood. Thank you, Desiree. I appreciate that. You can do it. It's you could not swear. So you should take this seriously, you guys, because here's how I want you to look at this. So this person that has outsourced this piece of work to you, they're entrusting their family's livelihood and how they feed their children and pay their bills to you. That is how serious that it is. I'm not being dramatic. That is how it is. So you need to take it seriously.
I'm going to interrupt with a little story. So we have a client right now that because something wasn't handled correctly by somebody, a vendor, contractor, whatever you want to call them, was not handled correctly by them. They are 2 months behind in their marketing and have in the last 2 months made $50 in their business.
Yes, that is the impact, because this contractor, and I'm going to make this point. I'm pretty sure I can say this. This contractor thought that they just had an infinite amount of time to get it done.
And it comes back to managing client expectations, communication, project management. All of those things are super, super, super important. And we see this time and time and time and again.
Ask questions. The more clarity that you can get, that is the biggest part. Managing, one of the best ways to manage your client expectations is to ask a question. Always ask. If you are unclear on something or you are assuming something, ask the client. Never, ever, 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 ever assume. So if you're sitting there assuming something, that right there means that you need to ask. And the client will appreciate that, because they would rather you get clarity than just do whatever you feel like. they would, like, you have to ask. Just ask. That is one way to manage client expectations, is by always asking.
I typed what I wanted to say because we have a 4-year-old that regularly watches our show. So we have to be very, very careful because, well,
She will repeat us.
Yeah, and I'm Aunt Danielle, so I will get in trouble. You always have, and keeping your emotions out of it is really, really important. And unfortunately, once you get to the point where you're very frustrated and upset, once you're at that point, emotions automatically come in. And I don't care if you're male, female, whatever
it's gonna happen.
Is.
I mean, that's
gonna happen. And that's why you need to manage the expectations and manage the project and manage what you're doing before that happens.
Yes, you should anticipate it, and don't let it get to that point. Never let it get to that point, because when somebody is depending on you, they're doing the best they can to manage the expectations with the client, but there's only so much that they can do because they're waiting on you. So it is your job to do your part. It's not just, oh, well, I got my money, so I just do, pay. I've already been paid, so, I'll just do it, whenever or whatever. That's not how that works. So I'm going to, again, bring it back. These are families and people's livelihoods that they are entrusting to you. And if you don't take that seriously, what are you doing? Because it's the same thing when you hire somebody. So like Danielle and I are talking about the structure of how our company is going to be. We have decided we are no longer using independent contractors. As soon as we can, we are hiring employees. And here's what comes with that. The responsibility of feeding the family. So we're going to have 5 to 10 employees eventually. We're not going to be there like tomorrow. We can't do it tomorrow, but eventually that is the goal. That is 5 to 10 families. That's 5 to 10 sets of children that we are now responsible for. We take that very, very, very seriously, and you should too. This is not a game. This is why Danielle and I get so frustrated with the hobby business owner and the do it, have it, be it Facebook influencer, Instagram influencer, like MLM, like job, like businessy people. This is why we get so frustrated with them, because this is not a game. This is not a game. Not a game, not a game, not a game. Sandra.
There are certain people on our team, Miss Thunder, that are protected at this point because not for nothing, we have certain people on our team. We have 2 women on our team right now, 3 women on our team right now who have been through the utter depths of crud in swamp with me and have stuck it out, have been amazing, are an amazing amount of support. And when we give them something to do, they do it. Unfortunately, and Be Live is getting all weird, kind of blurry. That's few and far between. I mean, I've been doing this for 20 something years, and I've had more bad contractors, more bad employees than I have good. I can count the amount of good, dedicated employees with integrity on one hand.
Yes.
And I will tell you something about that. I have an employee that had integrity, but he screwed up, and I had to fire him at one point. And he knows he screwed up. It's gone on for years. And 5 years later, he's a great friend, and him and I talk all the time. And
maybe they're censoring me, Sandra.
It's good morning, Nikia.
Hey,
and
Nikia.
It's super important that you treat your business with a level of integrity. Because when you don't manage client expectations and you don't handle projects well and all of these things, not only are you putting your client's business at risk, you're putting your business at risk because you will have a client call you out for being a liar.
Yes.
You will have clients call you out for do chargebacks on you, which hurts your credit, your personal credit when you're a small business owner.
Yeah, it's not good. Like none of it can be good. So we covered very basic project management skills. So now I'm going to cover how you can manage your client expectations in its most basic form. Ask questions, assume nothing, and again, ask questions, communicate. Always communicate. Give them the answer before they have to ask for it. Set boundaries and be very, very clear on them. That's it.
That's all it takes.
That's all it takes. And you will have happy, happy, happy clients. That's it.
Yeah, Sandra, part of those boundaries is not letting a client have too many passes because of deadlines, cause a person crying, give me more time. I mean, and I will say that the current issue Gina and I are having is
partially our fault.
50% our fault because we allowed things like that.
Of course, we're taking ownership, but this contractor is not.
And we are taking responsibility for the fact that we allowed our expectations to not be met.
Yeah, and that's something for another day that I think that we should talk about is expectations and not waffling on your standards, because that is something that we as women do and we as business owners do. We feel we have to. We do not.
And every time Gina and I have done that, it has bitten us in the butt.
It will bite you every time. And you basically got to be stone cold. Sorry. And
again, no emotions in business.
And I want to point something out. That goes against my nature. That 100% goes against my nature. So, and it most likely, I would wager, goes against your nature. But it's the only way to ensure that your business is protected.
Absolutely.
Oh no, Sandra, we're not saying that you're accusing anyone, but we are agreeing with you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because I mean, we do that. I mean, I've done that so many times because I want to. If a contractor is having a tough time in their life, or they're exhausted because they have a newborn, or I mean, whatever it is, there's a million personal reasons, business reasons. They had another client with an emergency. So I come from a world where everything's an emergency, and I have had days, and I was telling Gina this, something came up in my memories a couple of weeks ago. I had a 7-week time period where I was sleeping 24 hours, maybe in 7 weeks. So I was getting tiny bits of sleep here and there for 7 weeks straight because we had a server center, a whole entire server database go out. And we had to redo it. And we had other clients we still had to provide service for. So we were as a team of, there were 14 of us. We were working 72-hour shifts, getting 2 hours of sleep and coming back and doing it again. The amount of Red Bull, coffee, Monster that was consumed by my team of 14 and myself was ridiculous for those 7 weeks. But we made sure we only had the one major fire. No other clients lost, didn't get served anything because it was that important to me as a business owner. I was not the owner. I was a hired person, but as the person in charge to make sure all of the clients were taken care of. I didn't sleep hardly at all. I think I got less sleep than the rest of my team because I was making sure everything was taken care of. And then I had employees. I had an employee whose child ended up sick and they were in the hospital for 6 weeks. And I filled in for him right on top of all of that. And I mean, there were so many things. And I think it happened, all 14 of the people that worked for me within that 7-week period or just after, all had a major family disaster of some sort. And I allowed all of them to take advantage of me.
Like, look, you guys, life happens, stuff happens. I mean, but
as a business owner, as the client, from the client side, I don't care. I mean, I have to have that, unfortunately, because I do care, and that's part of my problem. But I need to get to the point where I'm sorry you're having a personal disaster, but you have a timeline, so you need to make it up to me somehow. Either, I mean, there's sometimes that we can absolutely work with a contractor and say, okay, well, you let us know, but communicate it. And that's part of the issue.
That's the thing is, if you communicate and you communicate in a timely manner, typically somebody is willing to work with you because life does happen. But the problem is when you just let it go and think nobody's going to notice. That's when the problem comes in. You have to speak up, and you have to, sometimes it's better to point it out before the client finds it. You never want the client to find it. Ever. You never want them to find it, because once they find it, it appears that you hid it from them. And what does that look like? Real bad. It looks really, really, really bad. Even if it was unintentional, it has the appearance of being bad. You don't want that, because here's the thing, you guys, is all of these things that we're talking about, they're protecting your reputation, because your reputation is everything. At the end of the day, that's really all that you have. So your reputation is everything, and you want to make sure that you have a good, solid, strong one. You want people to go off and say, so-and-so, we had a problem, but they made it right. So-and-so found this or found that, and, they took care of it. So-and-so came to me. I didn't even know this was happening, but they came to me and they told me it was happening, and they were already actively working to make it right. I can trust them. They are a person of integrity. They do great work. They're going to take care of you. Go work with this person.
Yeah, because you're not going to, I don't care what you do and how good you are at what you do, you're going to screw up. Something is going to happen. There's going to be a disaster. I mean, that always happens.
Yeah.
Life happens. It happens. I mean, I am a freaking awesome content creator for social media. But things happen. And I had to tell a client already this week, I am sorry, I'm going to be a week behind. I am not going to complete your project. This is one of my personal projects, not a DG marketing project, because of what's going on at DG. I am not going to complete your project. I'm going to offer you an extra 2 weeks of service for what I was going to do to make up for this. And her response was, you let me know right away. Thank you very much. You do not have to do that. I would not expect that of you. I appreciate the fact that you let me know, because most people wouldn't even do that. And I was on a thread in a very, very, very large group, and we're all CEOs. I think there's like 10,000 of us or something over on LinkedIn. And I dropped in yesterday, and there is a thread, and I'm not kidding, it had like 3,000 comments on it about hiring creative entrepreneurs and why they will never hire a creative entrepreneur again. People, and I don't care what the topic was or whatever, but think about that. We're all considered creatives because we're content creators, we're graphic designers, we're project managers. Believe it or not, they consider that creative. I don't know why. That is the least creative. I don't, whatever. But anything outside of a standard 9-to-5 job, I work for a company, business owners of large companies think of you as a creative. That is sad that there were 3,000 comments of having issues with contractors.
That is sad.
That's really sad. I don't care what you do, who you are. That is so easy to mitigate your risk and provide good client expectations.
You guys realize that I want to point out the gravity of that. So there's a group of 10,000 CEOs, a thread with 3,000 comments saying they will never hire a creative entrepreneur again. Guess what creative entrepreneur is? A solopreneur.
Yeah.
So
5,000. I mean, 3,000.
That is not good. That is not good. So that means that if you're not using the title of freelancer, because freelancer actually is now a step above the solopreneur and the creativepreneur, because a lot of times freelancers, if you find them through a particular site, like I found one the other day called Freed Up, and they have a rigorous, like they only take the top 10% of people that apply. They have a rigorous, I can't think of the word right now, but like process that they send people to, selection process, that's it, that people go through to even be able to get listed on this site. So like now all of you people out here that are talking about, oh, I have my creative business, you automatically, somebody with actual money that would be a long-term client just ruled you out just because of that. So now they're talking about they're going to either hire a freelancer or an agency. Just let the gravity of that sink in for a minute. And it's not that it's anything against you as the individual. It's the collective, because of the behavior and the lack of professionalism amongst that collective. So people are coming to the collective and giving the collective a chance, and the collective is burning them. No bueno. Really bad. So I just wanted to point out the gravity of that. So while Danielle and I get hate comments for a lot of the things that we say because it sounds like it's discouraging, you guys, it's the real world. It's real life. It's real deal. It's really what's happening. And you should, instead of getting pissy, take heed. Take heed to what you're hearing and take action on it to do something about it to protect yourself. Don't sit there with your butt on your shoulders. Like go, oh Lord, that's not good. What can I do to make sure that doesn't happen to me? That's what you should be doing. That's the mindset you should have. Not, you're discouraging me. And that's so mean. Well, okay, fine. Go walk into a boardroom with one of these people and see what they say to you. They'll laugh, yeah.
5,000 plus CEOs and 3,000 comments of having to deal with what they consider us.
Yeah.
And issues they've had. Let's really think about that. And we know from watching Facebook groups and stuff that this is a pretty common. I've been screwed over by whoever, and now I'm afraid to hire somebody. How often do you meet with a potential client and hear that story? Too many times. I would say right now, over 50%, no more than, I think probably almost 100% of our clients, we had that discussion with them when we were bringing them on.
So, which is really upsetting when you have one that was burned before, trusted you, and now feels like they're getting burned again.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, that's frustrating when that's not how you operate based on somebody that we outsource to. Really frustrating.
And that is our fault. It comes down to, it is absolutely our fault.
Absolutely our fault, which means that now, because we're in the camp with these other CEOs out there. We're in that camp too. We won't be hiring any more creative entrepreneurs either until if we can help it. We're bringing it all in house.
And yeah, unfortunately, that means somebody like we potentially need another 10 to 15 employees, not employees, contractors over the next 6 months. And now we have outsourced to another agency instead of hiring contractors because we've had so many issues.
Yeah, we went to a professional agency and outsourced to them. And let me tell you, have been
blown away.
Yeah, so happy. So really listen to what we're saying, you guys, because this is all really important stuff, and it's going to save you a lot of headache in the long run, and in the short term as well. It will make you look good and this is something that is really terrible to say, but I'm gonna say it. So just these few little things that we're telling you guys to do that we've talked about the last couple of days will make you look amazing, will make you look like the most amazing professional. And honestly, in this industry, in this particular community, this particular collective of the entrepreneur space, it ain't that hard.
Nope.
It ain't that hard. Just a few little things, communicating, being able to keep up with your stuff. Boom. You look better than the 100 other people that are also, bidding on that job. Just acting like you got some sense and that, just elevating things and mimicking what you did in corporate and how things looked in corporate already sets you apart from the crowd, because it may appear that the competition is steep out there and it like the volume is there, but the quality ain't. So you'd be better off. So if you focus on bringing quality work and a quality experience, and you will go far instead of just worried about collecting that check. It's not all about the money. There's so much more that goes into it, because if you want to keep collecting that check, you better make sure you got a really good experience for the customer across the board. Just want to point that out.
Yep. Exactly. Okay, ladies, we are going to tie up. Have an amazing weekend. We want you to be able to relax and come back Monday with us. We're going to be talking about social media and marketing next week. Part of the reason why is I'm going to be speaking at a social media summit the following week. And I think I'm going to try to bring some of our ladies that I'm going to be speaking with on with us live next week.
That'll be fun.
I'm trying to talk with them and see if I can get anybody in the same time zone, because there's a couple of people in Australia. They're all over the place. So we're trying to work out time zone issues, because our morning show is when it is.
Yeah, it is.
So I can't move it. So I'm trying to see if I can get people on with us next week. And we're also going to do a live coaching call with somebody next week. So and the following week, we have a coaching call that we're going to do. And I'm going to put somebody on the spot instantly to do that. So fair warning, this person is a regular listener. No, Sandra, it's not you.
Don't panic, Sandra.
Because I know Sandra would panic. But I'm going to put somebody on the spot immediately and throw them into a coaching call and see what they're struggling with that day. We really want to give you guys what you need from the show. So that's why we're here. So let's start doing some coaching and really showing you where and how to improve your business and have better profit strategy, because that's all what our businesses are about. So have a great weekend. I hope you all stay cool. Those of you in the Northeast who are going to maybe possibly die from the heat index, and we're not used to it up here. Have an amazing time planning for next week. I want to hear what your plans are for next week. Have a great weekend. Remember to rise, become, and be. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye, guys. Take a nap today.
RBB Morning Show, the coach, mentor, marketing, and social media strategist you need each and every morning.